Hey guys, it's JFCMexotics here, and today I will be doing a reptile room tour. It's a brand new room that I've got here, as you can see in front of me, and it's taken me quite a few months to get into this. So I'm happy that I'm finally done it and everything's all set up now. And also in this video I'll be explaining why I've been gone and the plans for the future. So we'll get straight into it. Okay, so starting off inside this new room, I'm just going to show you my little workstation area. So this here is where I keep all my powders, my insects, my Morio worms, and all the little cloths and tubs that I use while I'm in here. So we'll just quickly go through it. Here I've got all my calcium powders, some of my Arcadia, Omnigold things, some antibacterial wipes I used to wipe up, some antibacterial hand wash, some tubs that I have some powder in for when I, have to dust insects. I also have some powder here, which is my Pangea with insects for my Crested Gecko. Here I have my disinfectant, and here I have some cans that I've been saving for a few months for a video that I wanted to do about mites, because if you didn't know, I did have quite a significant mite issue end of last year, and that went until February, and then it went away for 2 months, and then it came back, and I only got rid of that about in August of this year, and so from August until now I haven't seen a mite on any of my animals. So hopefully this is all gone now. I'm like 99.99% sure it is. But anyway, moving on here, I just have my Morio worms. I have some tongs and equipment in there. And here I just have a few miscellaneous items, super glue, pins, blue tack, just things I might need. This is a tub that I defrost all my rats in. So what I'll do is I'll put them all in there frozen, and then I'll put them on top of a Viv where they get the heat from the bulb underneath, and that'll speed up their defrosting process. And then, like I said earlier, just have a few cloths to wipe things up. Here I have my little trolley. This does come out, and then whenever I'm feeding I'll just pull this out and I'll just bring it around here with me. In this little drawer I have a few tools and things that I sometimes need when I'm doing stuff around the room. And so now that's done, I suppose we can move on to the animals. The first animal that I have on this side of the room is Rook. Now, nothing much has changed with Rook. He's still on the same basic setup as when you'll have last seen him. He's still on paper towels, and you'll see in this video a few animals that are on paper towels. Now, that isn't for any particular reason, apart from the fact that I don't have enough substrate to put into everyone. I do plan on getting some in the next couple of weeks, and then when I get all the substrate I need for everyone, then I'll do everyone at the same time, instead of doing him now and then another when I get the rest. Because if you look inside here, which is where I do keep all my substrate, I have about a third of a bag of this, a third of a bag of sand, and then that's about it really. So using that I could probably do Rug and half of another cage, and there's no real point in that because I'm just going to have to do it again anyway. So I might as well just buy all the substrate I need and then do all of them. But yeah, this is a Rug, if you've never seen him before. He's my zebra jungle carpet python. I've had him now for about just over 2 years. I got him in March 2015, so I've had him 2.5 years. This is his fairly basic setup. He has a white python, 2-foot LED, as well as the heating setup ceramic there. I think that's a 100-watt bulb, and that's on an on-off stat. Moving across, we have Citrus, my Leopard Gecko. She's a Hibino Leopard Gecko. I got her February 2016, and she's just in there. I'm not going to disrupt her too much because she is in shed, and I have actually had her out a bit today already because people wanted to see her. But yeah, this is her setup. She has a few natural rocks that I picked up, as well as varying different, brand hides. She's on a Pro Life, Desert Life substrate, I think it's called. And this actually works great. It's one of my favourite substrates that I've used. It looks great, looks extremely natural, and I couldn't really be happier with this cage. I think it's extremely nice. Coming up here, we have Misa, my albino Nelson's milk snake. She's just gone 2 as well. She was 2 in March of this year. As you can see, she's growing and her colours are developing extremely nicely. She's definitely one of my favourite animals in this collection. Okay, you're not going to go back in there, so I'll leave this here. Once again, she's another one of these animals that substrate needs to be done within the coming weeks. But I only got this room finished in the past couple of days, so I'm just going to hold out and probably wait another couple of weeks before I get her substrate done. She has got just a simple 75 watt ceramic bulb with a 1 foot white python LED. Moving across here now, we have Peaches, my hognose. This enclosure is a 34-inch Viv Exotic. I have another one here. Now, she's an albino hognose, and she's a bit hissy at the moment because she's in shed, so if she hisses at you, I will probably jump. So, here she is. She's just in there. She's just gone 2 years old as well. She was born August 2015. And this enclosure is just a nice soil substrate. She was one of the first to come up into this room, which is why her substrate's done. It's a nice soil mix, and they've just got some basic wood and coconut hides here. I think she has just outgrown the coconut hides, so we'll probably get these changed up fairly soon. But yeah, once again, very similar setup. 75 watt ceramic, 1 foot white python LED. Coming down under this now, we have Quincy, my Brazilian rainbow boa. This cage is one of my favourites. It's an Eco-Earth and then like a Komodo bark trail mix combination here to try and keep the humidity up. I did have a Zoom-Ed Reptile in here, but it wasn't really working too well. But once, like I said, it's one of my favourites. It's a variation of different plastic plants and a 50 watt low heat ceramic heat in this cage, and like the others, a 1 foot LED. Not much has changed with this cage for a good few months because like Peaches, he was one of the first to come up, but he's doing fantastically well. Eating wrap pups weekly, smashing them every time. He used to be quite a timid feeder, but he's got a lot more aggressive with his feeding in the past few months. Below him we have Piper, my crested gecko, creamsicle, I believe. I got her from Skipper Reptiles from a Doncaster show last year. I think it was last year, maybe. Yeah, 2016. I think it might have been the November show I got her. She's growing and eating amazingly in this setup. I've changed this setup about every 8 weeks or so. I take all the cork out, put a new layer of Eco-Earth in, and then just change the logs around. And she seems to like it. She always sleeps in this position though for some reason. But yeah, she's doing great in here. And off she goes. Next, we're going to move on to the new stack of vivariums. Just before I get into it, I'll just show you the whole stack. These are all 4 foot enclosures. This one is, well, these two are 4x2x2s. And then this one is a 4x2x 18 inches high. So in the top one we have Sansa, my Woma python. She's doing great, feeding very aggressively. Once again, this one and this one are cages which have no substrate, but will do in the coming weeks. And if you remember my last video, I unboxed quite a few white python heaters and lights. This is obviously those two for these two enclosures. And there's not really much to say. Nothing much has changed since you saw her last time. She's just eating well, growing nicely, and she thinks it's feeding time because it is feeding time today or tomorrow for her. And she does quite get quite snappy around feeding time. So I'm just going to close that quickly on her. If you want me to do an in-depth video on her, I will do, because I know I was always going to do a Woma python care video, which I never did, but I will do that. Moving on down, another extremely simple setup, because I can't put all the decoration until I do the substrates. But here's Lee taking a nice bath. He's coming up on a shed now. He's just come out of his blue phase, so he'll be shedding today or tomorrow. He just chills in here once again, 4x2x2. Can't wait to get this one decked out as well. I do have some nice bamboo corks that or bamboo vines that I've seen online that I want to get in here. Because I know Lee does love to climb. I've put him in enclosures before. I've given him climbing opportunities, and he has relished the opportunity to climb. So, and then coming down to the final animal, the one and only Car. I think he's gone into his hide in there, but he shed yesterday, which is what that shed is. And this enclosure is very similar to the last time you saw it as well. Not much has changed with him, same exact setup, but as you can see, I try to refresh his cage twice a week and he destroys it within a day. This enclosure has a ceramic bulb in a guard, like an old-fashioned one, not like the white pythons that I have up there. I was going to do a white python for him, but due to the temperatures he needs, I just didn't think it was necessary, and doing it like that came in like £30 cheaper, so I just thought I'd go for this. Not many changes with him, and I won't bother him. You all know what Car looks like. He's one of the most prevalent animals on this channel. So now I've just taken you around the room. I'm going to just talk to you a bit about where I've been and what I will plan on doing. So first of all, I've been gone for about 7 months now. I made my last video in I think April. You may notice one animal isn't here who I mentioned, not my last video, the video before, and that's Kelvin. Kelvin the chameleon was amazing, and I still see him regularly, but I moved him to my brother. If you don't know, I have made a few videos as well on this. My brother has quite a few reptiles, probably a bigger collection than me. Actually, no, definitely a bigger collection than me. And he always wanted a chameleon, and it came apparent after 4 or 5 months of me having him, probably around July, that it was becoming very hard for me to do everything with all these reptiles, which, to be honest, it's only these I really need to see daily to spray. The rest I only really do every other few days, because she only gets fed like 3 times a week, if that. So it was becoming very hard for me, especially because I wasn't in a lot. I was going out before his lights came on, because his lights always used to come on at 7, and I was going out to school at like 6:30, so I wasn't able to spray him in the morning, so I had to get some family members to do it. And then when I got back, I was always busy and I was doing things, so it became very hard for me to care for him. I always tried. I bought a mist king to try and mist him while I wasn't here, and in the end I just thought it would be better if I moved him to my brother. I've still got him, he's still here. I will get some footage and pictures for you so you can see how he's doing. He's doing great, he's doing amazing. But yeah, my brother always wanted a chameleon, and so when I said that I might have to, you know, I was considering selling him, but I really didn't want to do that, so my brother's just taking him on, and he's doing great there. Other than that, everyone else is doing fine. This collection I'm managing quite easily. I just spray these two before I go out in the morning, and then I spray them both about 8 o'clock in the evening. They all get so once a week. And then in terms of the channel, I've been doing a lot of things over the past 7 months. I was just thinking about changing my upload schedule. Now in my last year of school, I will go to university next year. I've already got offers for that. However, I do think that my upload schedule sticks. Currently, I'm in year 13, and luckily my timetable is fallen where I get a half day on Thursday, so I get the end of Thursday off, and I get all of Friday off. So it gives me a lot of free time on those days, so I'm thinking from now on I will have an upload schedule starting next Friday. There will be a new video every Friday, which I will plan, you know, do research for on my Thursday, and then I will come in, film on my Friday, and get that edited and uploaded, now that I have free time in this year. If you have any videos you want to see, I do have a list of about 6 or 7 videos that I want to make. I'm going to film 2 immediately after I finish this, so I have content to make, or content to edit for the next couple of weeks ready, including the night video, because I do feel that after almost a year of battling nights, I have a full understanding of it, and I know exactly, and you can learn from what I did wrong, learn from what I shouldn't have done, what I should have done better, for example. So I've got a few videos that I want to make. If you have any that you want to see, I'll have to do that. I need to make a crested echo care video and a warm fighting care video. They should be quite fun. If you want links to these vids, I'll put them in the description. I've got them through ProVids, and if you have any questions at all, just let me know. And I hope I have explained everything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because I will be getting back into it now. I've had kind of 2017 off, if you will, but I do plan to start making videos again. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in JFCMexotics.